What's up guys, TechGuy66. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my top 10 smartphones of 2014. So let's get into the video. So first we're going to be starting off with number 10 on my list, which is the HTC One M8, which is one of the biggest phones that was announced this year, and definitely had one of the biggest effects to the smartphone world so far this year. It made the iPhone all metal thanks to the HTC One M8. Apple made their phone completely out of aluminum compared to last year, which was mostly aluminum, but they changed the design, making it sort of like the HTC One M8. Also, thanks to the HTC One M8, Samsung is now trying to make metal into their phone, just like the Galaxy Note 4, which now has a metal metallic band around it, which makes the design a lot more premium. So we're definitely going to be seeing a lot more premium design phones thanks to this HTC One M8. Everyone knows that, all the smartphone companies know now that we like high premium phones. Number 9 on my list is the Samsung Galaxy S5. This is Samsung's flagship phone of the year. It has great specs, a great camera, a very high resolution display, everything you want in a phone with TouchWiz. If you're not into TouchWiz, you're probably not going to like this phone obviously, but it still is a nice phone. It has a weird backing, which is kind of like a rubbery plastic thing, which I'm not too fond of, which is why I didn't buy the Samsung Galaxy S5 and went with the iPhone instead. But otherwise, it is a great phone and is number 9 on my list. The next phone on my list, which is number 8, is the iPhone 6 Plus. This is Apple's newest attempt to get into more people's pockets. It is a 5.5-inch smartphone from Apple with a 1080p display, 8-megapixel refrigerated camera with optical image stabilization, 2-megapixel front-facing camera which shoots in 720p. Basically, Apple's best phone out there right now. It has all the greatest features. Big display, people like big phones, but this has 2 big bezels. There's phones like the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which has a bigger display, but has the same dimensions as the iPhone 6 Plus. So you can see that that's a big problem. Even the Nexus 6 has a way bigger display than the iPhone 6 Plus and almost has the same exact dimensions. So Apple next year, try to make your bezel just a little bit smaller, and you definitely make it a little bit higher on my list. So that's number 8. So now let's get into number 7. Number 7 on my list is the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge, which is a different phone announced this year. It is Samsung's new test dummy of the year. It basically has a curved edge on the phone, so that way you can see applications and notifications on the side of your device, and it's definitely a lot different than all the phones out right now. I don't know how useful this feature is yet. If Samsung can get more features out to this phone to make it more useful, I can definitely see this phone becoming something big. Otherwise, it is not that crazy and not that groundbreaking. That was number 7 on my list, and let's get to number 6. Number 6 on my list is the OnePlus One, which is a very high-end phone with a great price. It's starting at $300 for a 16GB model, or I'm sorry, I think it's $300 for a 32GB model, and you get great specs. You have a 13-megapixel camera on the back, you have the Snapdragon processor, 2GB of RAM, and a 2K display on this device with a high resolution. Everything on this device is really great. You get high specs with a cheap price, and that's why it's number 6 on my list. The next thing that was announced this year that's on my list is the Moto X, 2nd generation, the 2014 edition anyway. It is a great phone, has a great design. You can change the design to how you like it, which is really nice. You can get a leather back, a plastic back. You can change the colors of the backs in the front and the screen to black or white. It has great specs, 13-megapixel camera, has a dual flash, and definitely one of the different phones that have been announced, but it's not totally new because last year they had the Moto X that had the changeable thing to get to customize your phone. But this is definitely cool. It would be really cool if more companies would do this, where you can change the design of your phone dramatically like the Moto X. So number 4 on my list is the LG G3. It is the first phone in the US to have a 2K display, which is a great display. It has LG software with a few of their tricks that are not that great, the gimmicks and stuff like that, but they're still useful, some of them anyway. It has a 13-megapixel camera on the back that has a laser autofocus, so you can get really good focus on your devices and really fast focus. That's what the laser does. It has a good front-facing camera, has great specs, has the best specs of the year so far, but not a lot of phones have great specs. But the reason it's on my list so high is because it's the first 2K display in the US, and laser autofocus is pretty cool. So number 3 on my list is the phone I am currently rocking myself, the iPhone 6, which is Apple's flagship phone of the year. Has a 4.7-inch display, which is in my sweet spot. 5 inches and 4.7 is basically my sweet spot, and that's why I got this phone. I really like the display. Has a great 8 megapixel camera. I wish they would bring up the megapixel count so that way they get more detail and you can zoom in without the pictures getting so distorted. But otherwise, the camera is great. It has one of the best cameras in the market today. Really great for Instagram because they have really good image processing. The best pictures on Instagram stuff like that are shot. It only shoots in 1080p sadly, but it's only because it's only an 8 megapixel camera. If they do bring up the megapixel count, I bet they could make it 4K. It also has a 2 megapixel front-facing camera and a 720p display, which is up from last year's model because it's a bigger display. But it still is only 300 ppi. Not that great of display, but definitely is one of the best 720p displays I've seen so far. And that's why it's number 3 on my list. The second phone on my list, number 2, is the Nexus 6. The Nexus 6 is a great phone. It has stock Android, exactly what Google intended Android to be, which is my favorite type of Android. I had the Nexus 5 last year, and that's why I got it, because I love stock Android. It also will get the newest updates, so right now it has a Lollipop, which is the newest alteration of Android out today, and which is really great. That's one of the things I love about the the Nexus 6. It's really great. It has the newest version of Android. It has great specs every year. The only thing different about this year compared to last year is this year's Nexus 6 has a flagship specs and also the flagship price at $600, which is kind of a bummer, but otherwise it's still a great phone. It has the same design as the Moto X, and it comes in 2 colors, and it's on the Google Play Store out now, and it's one of the recent phones that was announced this year, and is on my number 2 spot of this year. So now let's get to number 1, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is the number 1 spot on my list this year. It has a 60 megapixel rear-facing camera that shoots at 4K for 5 minutes, has a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, has a 2K display, the S Pen, which you can write notes with. You can do lots of stuff with the S Pen. It has a 5.7-inch display, which is great for watching YouTube videos, basically doing anything with multimedia. It's great to do on the display on the Note 4 because it does have a great display. Plus, it is very large, and it's really great for watching Netflix, YouTube videos, anything like that. I really love this phone. I'm kind of mad I didn't get it. It also has a new metallic metal edges, or what's it called? It has metal on the edges of the phone on the sides, so it has really good grip. It also has overall very nice design. It doesn't have that faux leather look that much this year, which I like. It doesn't have that stitching or anything. And it's overall a great phone, and if you're looking for a phone to get right now, in my opinion, if you're an Android person, this is the phone you should get. If you're an iPhone person, obviously get the iPhone 6. If you like big displays, you get the iPhone 6 Plus. But anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys like this video. If you disagree with my ordering, then leave in the comments down below what you think were the top 5 or 10 phones of the year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more great content just like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.